So hello everyone, my name is Johan Gabriel Kuching and I'm here to showcase my website for this company called Kels Coffee. It's a coffee shop in Davao City and I'm here to make a website for them for this exam. So let's start with the header. So here you can see the Kels Coffee logo. See the Kels Coffee logo home, which is utilizing it to return it to the home screen. Home, about us, menu, newsletter, yada yada yada, navigation bar. And here we have the order now with this nice animation. I will explain the animations later in this website, but for now I will skim through this. So if we order now, these two will open. The only delivery service right now for Kels Coffee, which you can order through. And as you can see, I have an altering image here in the background, which can be seen through my script, the JavaScript, which can be used here. It selects 3 images, then it alternates them every 5 seconds. That's about it. And here in the footer, start with the branches. They're only branches in Davao City. I embedded an Google Maps API, which is fairly easy. It's right here. Then links, home, about us, all of these work. And contacts, these are not their real contacts, but it's for a placeholder. And for the social media, these works, and these are their official Kels. And so next up, head to about us, and here we utilized some fancy style CSS. Used span in the headings here. I shown. Where is it? Here I use span from the heading, just styled out from CSS. And here we can see an animation where I will explain further later, and some about us, install some images, and same border, and the same footer. Next is the menu, and we can see here are the most popular delicacies, and you can see latte, Spanish latte, mahala kayo, niya. Next up is the newsletter. Yes, newsletter. So here in the newsletter, I will explain this fully. So first up, I utilized an API which can allow you to utilize JavaScript as the only email handler for this specific form. And I used, is it called, this smtp.js, which essentially allows it to send you emails through their own servers, I assume. And we can start. So let's name ourselves Mike Santos. At first, let's try some error handling. I hate this coffee. Please use copy code. Yes. And send message doesn't allow you. .com doesn't allow you even for sending it. Then, so let's just utilize Gmail. And with that, resets and gives me this form. And when I refresh it, it sends it to my spam folder, thankfully, and it gives me all of the information that I need. And as you can see, I tried it before, and I will see the API, how many emails I sent through this, which is nice. So also for these things, I used Awesome Font, which is essentially a web development toolkit script, and I used it for more easier access to images. And just put it on the side, such as this Facebook. I can just utilize Facebook F through their class, their built-in class, and it will just give me this Facebook. And the last API I used is the one you saw in my feedback, if my feedback works. Successful. This is in my Java. So you can see this in my JavaScript. Successful, and it is something called Sweet Alert, and a friend gave it to me, and it's very convenient. So let's move on to the code. So for the code section, let's start with the JavaScript. So this first part is the menu integration. This is what you see, what you can see if you zoom in too much, or if you're on mobile or smaller devices. You can swap to home, you can swap to buttons, etc. And you see this you can also see this in all devices. Okay, so this will display the menu button, and when you're scrolling, which I forgot, it turns off. And so the next one is altering home images. I've stated this one before. It changes every 5 seconds. Yes. So after that is the sending email, which we've also discussed earlier, which essentially is the same. So for this one, feedback form validations, I made this before finding out about this is because this was the SMTP.js. I made this before I found out about it. So I made this for the validation for the client side, if at email, and if it's less than 10 letters, which still works. It still works in my newsletter, but yeah. If it's valid, if it's not valid, it will reset to default, and else it will boot. I was thinking about booting up utilizing XAMPP Apache for the feedback form, and then my friend recommended me to use the SMTP for a more easier server-side integration, which is the SMTP. So let's move on to the style. So I won't explain everything because it's just such tiring implementation of the format to make it as smooth as possible. But let's start with the root. Let's start here. I just imported Google Fonts and used Poppins as a default font for everything, and I used this mark script for this home heaven in a cup, which is their motto. So let's start with the root. This is what's responsible for all the borders. For here, for the border radius, you can see this is responsible for the top left, the top right, and bottom left for the horizontal part. For the vertical end, it's the same. So for example, if I this 40%, right now this is my border. When I reset, here in the horizontal part of the top right, made the radius different. And let's try the vertical part, top left, and it also changed. So that's how I made all these borders and how it's all formatted. So the next one will be the how I animated this specific image. It utilizes the border hovering of the radius, which at 0% scales to 0.9 of its size, and at 100%, the 50% scales down to 0.8, and it utilizes the border radius, which makes this a very flowy feeling. And as you can see, it's very liquidy when it's very slow, but if you utilize this, essentially just loops, and you can see how this code is it's very nice. So that's about it for my style. These are all just sizes, and also the media queries. So that's basically all there is for this website. I utilize Photoshop also for these specific images and other stuff for this to work out. It's a little rubbish, but it's fine. And that's all. Thank you for watching.